reprezint compania Simavi și sunt, pe de altă parte, coordonatorul proiectului SHIFT. SHIFT este un proiect, să zicem, foarte interesant, cu niște tehnologii extrem de avansate, ceea ce mă va pune în oarece dificultate în a povesti. Mă așez mai... Așa. Mă gândeam cum să vă fac o introducere în acest proiect. Deja Ioana am pregătit niște slide-uri. Este un proiect în care sunt 13 parteneri din 8 țări. Folosește, în esență, tehnologii ca inteligența artificială, machine learning, procesare de date multimodale, transformarea contenului în transformarea digitală a contenului, reprezentarea semantică, analize lingvistice și tehnologii haptice. În esență, ce se vrea este a aduce cultura mai aproape de anumite categorii și a o face mult mai accesibil. Din aceste categorii sunt în esență destul de largi, în sensul că pot fi oameni obișnuiți, dar care nu vizitează foarte des instituții culturale sau oameni care au dificultăți în a accesa aceste instituții, în sensul că au diverse disabilități. Acest proiect vrea să folosească toate acele instrumente pe care le-ați văzut mai devreme în a face această cultură mai accesibilă. Mă gândeam să vă pun un mic film ușor de pe SHIFT. Da. De altfel se găsește pe site-ul proiectului. Deci, după prezentare o puteți viziona.
Hello and welcome to a presentation of SHIFT, a project funded by Horizon Europe to make cultural heritage more inclusive and accessible using technology. SHIFT, metamorphosis of cultural heritage into augmented hypermedia assets for enhanced accessibility and inclusion. SHIFT supports the adoption of digital transformation strategies and the uptake of tools within the creative and cultural industries. SHIFT is one of a cluster of 6 projects funded under Cluster 2 of Horizon Europe, preserving and enhancing cultural heritage with advanced digital technology. SHIFT is leveraging advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning to improve cultural heritage access for European citizens experiencing sensory impairment. It aims to enrich everyone's experience of interacting with cultural assets through visual, auditory, and sensory modalities, for example using haptics. Results are thematically clustered into a visual toolkit that will enable automatic transcription of cultural heritage content using artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. The toolkit will identify objects and actions which assist in transcribing the historical depictions at economies of scale. An auditory toolkit that will deliver an emotional response to the audience by using advances in auditory synthesizers. Human-like correspondence will minimize barriers for effective interaction by people with sensory impairments. A haptics toolkit will enable multi-sensory interaction with digital objects through a novel approach which delivers haptic feedback, emulating the feeling of touch in a digital object. An IPR toolkit will address the challenge of protecting digital native content. SHIFT will adopt international standards on copyrights and digital protection of derivative copyrights. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our social media channels for more information on cultural heritage, technology, accessibility and inclusion.
Aceasta a fost mica prezentare a proiectului SHIFT. Noi o să avem și unul din partenerii noștri care dezvoltă una din tehnologii importante din proiect. Vă va prezenta în detaliu ce își propune această tehnologie și cum funcționează. Până atunci o să-i dau microfonul Ioanei.
Mulțumim mult, Răzvan. Ne onorează că ai fost alături de noi astăzi. Revenind la motivul pentru care suntem aici cu proiectul SHIFT, participarea noastră se face în contextul introducerii unui use case foarte important pentru bibliotecile din România, Practic, împreună cu Răzvan și partenerul nostru tehnic, Iosif Țango, de la Universitatea Tehnică din München, care este partener în consorțiu SHIFT, am pregătit câteva demonstrații tehnice care vor aduce puțină lumină în ce privește, să spun așa, funcționalitățile pe care le-am gândit noi, aplicabile pentru biblioteci, evident utilizând noile tehnologii, și feedback-ul dumneavoastră va fi foarte important pentru noi. Am să-i dau microfonul lui Andrei să-l introducă pe partenerul și invitatul nostru special de astăzi, Iosif Țango. Te rog, Andrei.
Ok, mulțumesc mult, Ioana. Acum nu știu, probabil că dacă tot se vorbește de AI, puteam să avem un AI care să faciliteze toată chestia asta și să arate cum se întâmplă lucrurile. Sau pe Ioana, care oricum l-a introdus, pe Iosif, care este researcher în ceea ce privește inteligența artificială la Universitatea Tehnică de Munich și care o să ne ghideze un pic, să arate ceva mai bine cum se pot aplica lucrurile care au fost dezvoltate prin acest proiect. Deci, bine, imediat, da?
Între timp, până se instalează Iosif, care își va folosi propriul device, pentru că este mai performant decât cele din portofoliul ANBPR, am să vă mai zic eu câteva vorbe despre use case-ul special dedicat României din contextul proiectului SHIFT. Ne-am propus niște obiective foarte ambițioase, respectiv, cum puteți vedea pe slide, da, nu mai puteți vedea. Ok, avem niște volume foarte mari de cărți vechi pe care dorim să le modelăm cu ajutorul tehnologiei și cu anumite aplicații tehnologice de transfer de limbaj, de, să spun așa, accesibilizarea traducerii în sensul că opere arhaice vor fi aduse mai aproape de cititorul contemporan, respectiv de persoanele născute digital. Iar Iosif va explica punct cu punct care sunt capabilitățile tehnologiilor produse și testate în cadrul consorțiului SHIFT. Și dacă este gata, chiar am să-i cedez microfonul pentru a nu uita foarte mult din pauza de cafea, cu precizarea că suntem în depășire cu programul și am să vă rog să nu plecați până nu încheiem aici. Avem îngăduința celor de la catering și respectiv a coordonatorului atelierului următor pentru a ne putea încheia aici lucrările potrivit planificării. Mulțumim frumos, îi dau microfonul lui Iosif. Welcome.
Thank you, Ioana. So I'm going to start with saying two words like bună dimineața tuturor. Sunt foarte fericit să fiu aici. So with that I continue. Yeah, it was not the best shot, but yes. So with that I continue. What Razvan and Jan said, we are partners in SHIFT. We're having a great collaboration with ANBPR. We have great data to work with ANBPR. That's a great objective, that's a great goal. And this comes right in the place where AI is in the highest advancements right now. And we have to guide this whole thing, this whole wave of technology, and to adapt it to make it according to the laws of cultural heritage. And the feedback from curators and the professionals in this area is super significant for us. And they have to also identify that, the necessity of collaborating curators, professionals, and AI technicians right now. Okay, with these words I'm going to start saying a little bit about the project. We're going to do different things. First of all, there are going to be some technical jargon here, but you don't have to focus a lot on that. I will try to break it into pieces for you, so you understand exactly the essence of what is going on right there, okay? First of all, there are different technical partners in the project and collaborating with us. We, in TUM, in TUM, in Germany, we're doing the NLP part, which is about storytelling. So we're working with text, and librarians, of course, can provide a lot of text. And this is called NLP, Natural Language Processing. LLMs, within LLMs, you're going to see what it is. Everybody pretty much knows an LLM there. There are some challenges with Romanian processing, like assets in Romania. First of all, Romanian as a language is pretty underrepresented in the research area, like in the AI area always. The second is that there's scarcity of annotated data. And of course the OCR models. Now I'm aware that librarians use OCR models. I'm not sure if they're using deep learning based OCR models, but we're going to see also some stuff about it later. There are some challenges. And what we're doing is sit here and also collaborating with ANBPR. We are first of all annotating Romanian data. We need this sort of data for what we call as fine-tuning AI models. The second part is they have provided us a repository of high-quality scanned PDFs of books, and this is something really necessary and significant. And the third thing is what I said at the beginning also, it's like about leveraging this whole thing which is called generative AI. This is how it's called, because it generates stuff. Now AI has been in this moment where it can understand a lot of our world, like so to speak, understand its weird word here, but it can generate stuff. It can generate even art, if you want. Okay, so Gen AI, this is something weird right now. Everybody knows ChatGPT, of course, right? ChatGPT is just an element, just an instance of this technology. One of the cornerstones, but still just an instance. But it's still proprietary. It's like an industry. You don't have access. You don't know what you're doing with the data. You don't know how they proceed with it. Researchers even face the same problems. We don't know how this model works exactly. We know in which kind of family it lies, like in AI models, but we don't know a lot about it. So I would also be concerned about using ChatGPT for something else rather than advices, general, like some advices, not proprietary data. But there are open source research products like Llama. Llama is another product from Meta. We're going to talk a bit about it and see to understand a bit how we approach this whole domain. What our part is doing here in the project, we're doing text summarization, like a book, imagine a book, a whole book of data, and summarizing it in a small paragraph, so to curate it nicely to children or to audience. Now, when we're talking about books, we don't face a problem of curating the content to visually impaired people, like blind people. We don't have exactly this problem. But when we have a painting, this is something really, this is excluding a huge audience, like people with visual impairments, people who cannot enjoy the art. If you are excluded from this human pleasure or cultural pleasure, so to speak. So it's more meaningful the text summarization and also the style transfer, which I'm calling there. This is like tailor the description. You have a description, but the descriptions, imagine the paintings in the museum, they have some description there which is not so personalized, it's not exactly what every person would like to hear, let alone people who cannot see the painting. It's really difficult, it's not so easy, just put the default painting there, put the description in his ear, let it listen going. So the thing is that, how do you curate this thing? The idea here would be to automate the whole process, so the curator has to make an option and doesn't have to figure out the best description for it. Like imagine having 5 criteria about the person and automatically produce 5 descriptions for the painting, and the curator is the one who says, okay, this is good, this is not good. Okay, and he picks a good one. So, and there are some other stuff. So the idea is like, also with the technology now we can use data from different repositories. So we can use data from Europeana, we can use data from Wikipedia, automatically retrieve this data. This is called RAG. Okay, a little bit, again, what can AI do nowadays? It can understand text, it can produce text. Again, ChatGPT, this is the part there. This is called NLP, Natural Language Processing. This is our part. The second part is understand audio and produce audio. Producing audio, this is our partner's part, Audio. The other part is understand images and produce images. And this is also something we do, because you need to understand images to produce text, but we don't produce images. Other partners, what Razvan showed at some point, was about bringing motion into pictures. Imagine like a river, and like a painting in a river, and suddenly the river moves. So it produces some motion in the picture. This is something that can be done with Gen AI, generative AI. Here you have probably, you know, DALI. Who doesn't know DALI? Only you don't know DALI. Everybody else knows DALI. Okay, so when you say to ChatGPT create an image, DALI creates image. Okay? DALI is the image creator, it's not ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not a model, it's a framework, okay? But everybody knows ChatGPT, which is best at understanding text and produces text, okay? Alright. But ChatGPT is just an example. This is a family right now. This is what is happening out there. This whole technology started from 2019. This is taken from a paper, basically. It's not our paper, it's a paper survey. But this is where everything started, 2019. And ChatGPT came here, disrupted everything. And after that, it uses, of course, all the technology before, but after that, we have open source models. These are super useful for the research community. Because this thing here, which is by Meta, by Facebook, you can download it, have it in your computer, do your job, don't have access to the internet, have your data in there, you're pretty safe, go for it. Okay, so we are safe, okay, in this regard. Let's see now how we can retrieve text from the books, how we can enhance the book's content when it comes to old books. I have here a simplified example. Because we have received books from ANBPR. The first part is to have a book, have one page. From the page, there is some part missing there. Just putting it really simple right now. There is a part missing there, the red part. When you put the image, the page, into the OCR model, character recognition, it recognizes the text, it outputs the text, but there's some missing parts. Because OCR models, they don't have the understanding of what is going on there. It says, okay, I see a W, it's a W. I don't see that, don't put that. But the word doesn't make sense, I don't care. But what we can do later, we can use one of those LLMs, the blue part, and the LLM, the good thing about the LLM is it has some sort of thought. You can understand what is missing there from the context. And this is going to be the output there. The output is going to be a summarized text, which is not highly influenced by the missing parts. So it doesn't care about the missing parts. It only needs the part that it understands, and it can fill the gap somehow. Okay? And in this case, you can have some sort of summarization of one page. Alright, there is some space for research there. We are also doing that. This is about, from the OCR model, to go to the correction and summarization using those language models, as I said. Like, imagine ChatGPT, but it's an open source, a research thing. Okay? So the first part is to transcribe the meta text and to fine tune. Like, this is the technical part, we don't need this part. We don't need to think about this part. The other part is that we have to make also some research on the remaining part. I have highlighted that the one-stop learning. The one-stop learning actually replies to this question. We want descriptions, for instance, for children. We would like to have a storytelling paradigm for children. Like, what is a good description there to give to curate to children audience? This is something not easy, and for doing that, a method we are following is to have a good description. How do we take a good description? We ask professionals. This is the thing. So the first part, this is an example of the research right now, how we approach this thing. You see, there are 3 colors, every color corresponds to one description. Those 3 descriptions correspond to the image. So what we did is we provided some images to the partners, and we asked the partners. Here you have an image, and here you have 3 descriptions. These descriptions are meant to be good for children. Pick the best one. What do you think is the best one? Of course, we asked for additional feedback, like, give us our best edition of the description for children for this painting. And as you see there, the responses say, okay, the first one, the third one, the yellow one, is the best description, and you can read the description if you want to. And the thing is that here you have to analyze the description, and this is also something we do there. So, do I have to read it? I'm going to read it, okay? Have you ever been awake late at night when everything is quiet? That's what Nighthawks is all about. You can see a shiny dinner with bright lights and big windows. Inside where are only a few people. And so on, and so forth and so on, okay? So the thing is that it has some storytelling flow. This storytelling flow, it's not so easy, so to say. So there is a lot of research happening there. What makes this storytelling version adapted for children. Why the curator said, this is the best one? When did they say that? And our part there comes to doing the research, the characteristic of the text. This is why we are saying natural language processing, okay? First of all, here you have some data. The point there, the data is some metrics which say how adequate the language was for what kind of age, what is the age range. And here, you cannot read it really nice, but here it says that it's around 9 to 11. The second row on the first, the second column on the first row, it says, for instance, it's adequate for 9 to 11 years old. The other part is about measuring how many difficult words this description has. So it's 7 out of, I don't know how many there is, too many. So this is also adequate. Like, you don't have many difficult words. The other part here, for instance, there is some other sort of analysis you can do. It's about the subjectivity of the text, like how good should it be, how subjective should be the description for children. So, and the polarity is the positivity, how positive is it, how positive is overall the text. The subjectivity is about how subjective it is. For instance, a good cue about subjectivity is that it has a lot of adverbs, like surprising is not adjective, I think that it is. Surprising, amazing, beautiful, peaceful. So this thing produces some subjective sort of text. And this is the analysis we do. Here, this one, for instance, is another thing which is like how the emotion fluctuates during the text description. So you start getting up, the emotion is a little bit more intense at the beginning. And this is the arousal and the valence, we call them. And okay. All right. So I take a breath here, but you see, it goes up in the beginning, and the emotion falls down, and then comes up again. And if you imagine of stories like children's stories, this is how it comes, how it starts. It starts with a fascinating story. Oh, this happened, there was a princess doing that, blah, blah, blah. The story then went emotionally down because if you have to put the context, you have to put the script, what is happening, and at the end something happens. So the arousal and the button gets up again. And you see, these the good descriptions for paintings or summarizations, they still have to follow the storytelling fluctuation, the storytelling trajectory. And this is something that this is research happening in art there. This is a part of the paper. Okay. How do you summarize a book? There are different methods to summarize a book. One of the methods we are using is like, take the book in the first page, split the books into parts, like 10 first pages, 10 second pages, last 10 pages, summarize every page with the process we said before, have a second summarization. So the blue one corresponds to the summarization of the whole 3 first ones. The second one to those ones. So you make the text shorter and shorter, having all the information inside. And you feed all these short descriptions in 1 second term of the LLM, of the model, and you also give a good example. So we also say, okay, this is what the curator said is a good example. Use this one and give something similar, but for this painting, or for this book, or for this context. And you go down to have the best one. So this is the pipeline that we are going to follow. Of course, here, before audio fine, because we're going to have to turn into audio this description, the curator has to give the okay, of course, right? Alright, so this is the pipeline. Whoa. Something happened here. Okay. Alright, so among the books we have those 3. I've selected those 3 right now. And for those 3, for instance, we can see the first part. The first part is about the OCR detection. I said before that the OCR needs some refinements. We have to fix this thing because it doesn't work perfectly. And what do I mean? In a research or more scientific perspective, does it work perfectly? Means how confident the OCR is. So when you put the text or the PDF of the book in the OCR model, it outputs those boxes. Of course, you don't see that, but the model also outputs that. If you want, you have access into those boxes, and those boxes have in and the number. Like one means 10 or 100. Like I'm 100% sure that this word is in. I'm 100% that this is new, and so forth and so on. So the model outputs the boxes and how confident the model is. And here what you see, and you have like super, like a subset, a really small subset of words right now with the numbers. Those numbers correspond to the words which have more than 95% confidence. So when you output the text out of the image, the model has 95% confidence in such amount of words, which is too little. This is too little, this is too little. All those words here, the model probably is going to guess what it says, it's not sure. So here it says doi, but it's not sure that it's going to say doi. It's less than 95% to say doi. So there is place for improvement there is space for improvement. Again, also in the second, in this third example. Alright. So we cannot rely only on OCR. If you want to be 100% accurate, you cannot rely there. And if you want to do summarization and storytelling, like change description, still you cannot rely on OCR exclusively. And here we're going to have it there. And I'll take also breath. Okay. Alright, so I had to create this demo in a really short time, and the thing is that now this one is not perfect, and you have to be a little bit easier on me, because this is not 100% of the potentials of the models. I'm using small versions of the model, so it can run right now in my GPU, in my computer, which is difficult. But the idea would be pretty much conveyed here. The descriptions, we're going to have some descriptions out of this model, out of this framework, which uses the models. The descriptions, we make sure that before getting curated, before getting out there in the museum or wherever, there is a curator there giving the okay. So it's not like this thing doing whatever it wants, right? And what we have to do here is pick what kind of summarization we want to do, and we have children curator and contemporary. Let me give me a second. And we have to browse a file, and we have here some files. I'm going to use the PDF files. I'm going to take Obitseri. Okay, this one. And the idea is that you just drag and drop a page, and automatically the model runs. And the first part of the model that runs is the OCR part. So we have the page here, and there we're going to have popped at some point the OCR results. So these are the OCR results. Romanul, Kant. So it misses some parts, right? It misses some parts. The thing is that this is not a perfect, it's far from being perfect. And this is just unstructured text coming out of the OCR model. But if we have the LLM layer, which is not about this language model part, we do the text generation. Okay, give me a second. Failed. Okay, so you gave it in the code, you didn't give it on the... I need a second here now, sorry for that. I'm doing the second. Okay, okay. Again. Children. So the OCR model is running, it takes some time because it runs on my computer, it gives it unstructured data, and no, it doesn't work. Doesn't work, sorry. We don't have it. Okay.
Yes, if you can choose another page, maybe.
Yes, no, it's not the page, it's the connection right now. Something happened with the connection. So, yes, it doesn't happen because we don't have internet. Yeah, that's... I have to use my cluster, okay. No, I didn't, okay. Go once again. Yeah. Are you with me? Okay. I don't have internet, that's what's... Okay. Okay. What is super crazy? Okay. Okay. This is supposed to be just popped automatically, but we didn't see that. So the thing is that the output of this page, eventually, after the OCR extracted part, gets into the LLM and it outputs this summarization. Now, this summarization, I don't know Romanian, so I cannot evaluate it myself, but you can evaluate it. Of course, you can read it right now. And the other part is to generate the audio, which is something that happens directly right now. I hope it works. So just to be on the same page, we started with a page, we applied the OCR model gave us some unstructured text, the unstructured text gets into the LLM, this language model, and after that, you produce the audio. And the audio is using TTS models from our partners, from Otiri. Okay?
Într-o zi, personajul nostru.
And what I'm saying here is, this is not perfect. This is just preliminary results, which have to run right now locally, which is difficult.
Românuș se trezește îmbrăcat într-un costum strălucitor și se simte atât de fericit și iubitor, simte o bucurie nespusă în inima lui și parcă se mândrește tot timpul când se întâlnește cu prietenii sau vizitează locuri frumoase. El își amintește cu drag de tradițiile vechi, participarea la petrecerile lor este importantă pentru respectarea obiceiurilor străvechi. Iar românuș simte această...
Okay. I think you got an idea. You clear the pass. Do you want to try another one now that we fixed it? Okay. So let's see what it does with contemporary language. Initialize the model. We have to pick so this is Monastery. These are the pages that I showed before. Okay, so the model runs. The only thing the curator has to do is to put the page there. And this works page-wise. Doesn't work for books right now. The books you have to go in a bigger process, which takes more time, and it needs better computers actually. So again, same idea, you have some text, but the model we showed it's not 100% sure of what it's doing there, the OCR model. So we need a model which can understand what it's doing there. And this is the LLM. Okay, now it produces the text. The text is adapted to contemporary language, summarized. It's summarized, it's not exactly the same thing. And this is the output, and the second part is to generate the speech. this fits. Okay.
Călătorind spre Botoșani, vezi peisaje pitorești cu dealuri acoperite de păduri și câmpii strălucind sub soarele de vară, râurile înguste curg învârtindu-se printre pietre, iar în apropiere se întrezăresc căsuțe albe și vite pășunând liniștite, linia de tren merge alături de munte. Iar pe un deal se ridică în mod spectaculos o cetate veche, cu turnuri ce strălucesc în soare. Așezările românești au fost mereu călite pe dealuri și păstrând un farmec aparte.
Okay, it's far from being perfect, I can see that, but this is a smaller model I'm using right now from the partners, but everything happens right now with 2 clicks, okay? This is something imagine now to be able to pick some characteristics of the audience. You say you have a school and you say, okay, the school has this kind of people, it has like for instance people with some problem, and you pick up some different criteria there, and you generate some audio right away for those people, absolutely personalized, and you generate the audio on the spot, and you curate this. Of course you have to correct it somehow, like you're the professional, but at the end you're going to have something really quick, really there on the spot. Okay, I'm going to continue because there's some unpredictable problems. Go a little bit faster. The other part is about changing the text and audio in videos. From the videos we follow the same idea. This is not from us, this happens from our partners. So you have the video, you have the description, the audio description. What do you do there? You take the audio, the Romanian audio, you transcribe the Romanian audio, and as you show there is a problem with the audio part generated from Romania. There needs to be those models need to be more enhanced and fine-tuned. This is what I'm saying. You need data. Data is scarce in Romanian. And the summarization could be in English or in one voice in Romanian. This was only the available voice we had, but in English there are many available voices. And what you do here, the partners do actually, you take the sentiment from the curator, from the description, and they put the sentiment into the new description. So we provide the summarization the same way we saw before, and the sentiment is coming from the audio of the curator. And you generate the new audio, which is English, it's emotional, and we also have a video from that maybe at the end, and I think this is the end now. And for instance, here I'm going to give you the English version.
Founded to look at Miner's archaeological site.
So, the video is originally in Romanian voice, in Romanian language. The partners, what have done, have taken the description, they have translated the description into English by using also Ioana and Stefania's feedback, and they produced a new voice adapted in the same emotion of the initial description, which is something that can be moderated.
The hair is combed and curls into a low bun, parted in the middle. On the head of the goddess is a cow with its basket
So the voice is more realistic.
Regular facial features.
It has some certain emotion.
Large eyes and pupils accentuated by
It is more natural.
a straight,
It's more a
sharp nose and a prominent chin further emphasize the seriousness of the goddess.
Okay, we now have to see all of it. And okay, that was my presentation. Sorry for the unpredicted part. It was a live demo. It's always risky, but this is how I wanted to end. It's more like this. This is like a baby AI in this domain right now, okay? And somebody has to take by hand and show it the correct way. Otherwise, it goes the wrong way. Okay, like a children. And it was really interesting. Some yesterday initiative taken from Microsoft and the Vatican, and they created the digital twin from Vatican, which is something, if you think about it, it's unbelievable because it's super high quality, uses AI, and they have made an amazing job. And this is like super inclusive. This is a really good initiative. Now, it's Microsoft. It's not a university, which is problematic, but it's for a good reason. And it's going to showcase the potential of the technology, but still, it's still in baby steps and needs some professional take by the hand, okay? Yeah, thanks.
Înțeleg că este o întrebare. Da? Mai multe întrebări. E în regulă, doar să știți că am intrat deja în partea de pauză, deci o să luăm repede, dar pe repede înainte întrebările, după care să mergem și în pauză și apoi mai avem și ateliere în paralel. Deci luăm la pachet întrebări, am văzut că au două întrebări, da? Dacă puteți să... Aici o întrebare și acolo o întrebare. So we have two questions.
Okay, please, in case of demo, when you put audio version, the voice belongs to AI or to a person?
To AI. To AI. Okay. That's the one question down. The second.
I thank you. This is a very interesting project. I'm happy to learn more about it. Because you're working with Romanian culture and you're coming in and looking at old books, I was wondering, especially that you are looking to address different types of public, I was wondering what would be the take on racism that is embedded in the culture and history of Romania that has not been actually properly documented to this day in our culture, and that you're putting AI to work on texts that are racist and have culturally put people aside, including women, for example, and yet you're going to present this to a male voice. It's not very interesting. It's just you have just one male voice about Romania. But how would you plan to fix this with the AI?
Okay, so I think the microphone on here.
Yeah, the microphone is coming up.
Yeah, that's a really nice question. The thing here is that we are not professionals in this domain, so we need the hints of professionals. And that's always at the end of the whole process. I call this the pipeline because it starts with something, but before curating this last output, it's going to be up to you. It's not going to be it's going to be up to the curator. It's going to be up to the person who delivers this product. Because you have a product and you have an algorithm, but the one who uses the algorithm defines the purpose of it and the uses of it.
If they understand the algorithm.
If they understand the algorithm, that's why pushing the collaboration.
Cultural community doesn't understand the algorithm.
There is also the question of fairness and discrimination in the AI. It's a super big topic and it's again in these early stages right now. Which is a question by itself, like how AI, because these things are trained massive amount of data, and they have injected inside of their functionality the biases of our world, of our history. But the thing is that at the end of the day, the person who's going to deliver this product, the output of the product, is the curator, or it's like, if I use it, I'm going to use it for my own purposes, and maybe I don't change, but you're going to do it, of course. So there are some extra layers when you deliver a model at the end of the day, at the end of the project, or the business, when you have to test it in this regard. So this test is going to happen with questionnaires at some point in the project. Like when you have finalized what the good description is, what kind of, if you analyze it, what kind of characteristics should it have, so we know exactly what style of curation we want to do, whether we're addressing to children, or we're addressing to clients, or we're addressing whatever. When we have finalized this thing, the last part, this is happening with prompt engineering, which limits the potentials of the model. So there's a model, don't do that explicitly, don't do that, avoid the other. This is also something happening by itself, it's different. So if you ask now what is about a conflict, X, Y, it's not going to share enough. It's going to say this is a sensitive topic, I'm not going to talk about it. So this is something that we add at the end, but the last word is on the curator, who's going to deliver the product, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have the feeling that we have the topic for the next conference, because ethics of AI is probably one of the key issues that will keep coming up soon. Mulțumim tuturor, mulțumim foarte mult pentru